Hey YouTubers, how are you? This is Tony Zarmorov with another quick review. I am working on a 2002 Nissan Frontier 5-speed manual transmission, and the motor is 3.3. I have a question. I was looking on the internet and how to torque down the heads and intake manifold all at the same time. Also, at the same time, loose the bolts and then torque down the intake manifold. It's kind of complicated, just a little bit. It's just the time to understand and find a solution for you to torque down these heads, okay? So on my hand I have a paper here. So this is the right head and left head, okay? So the first step is, if you're gonna reuse the bolts, the head bolts again, it's up to you. But I told my customer to give me a brand new bolts, but he only gave me one set, so I'm gonna have to reuse the the old bolts. It seems like they did it before, the head gasket job, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I think they're still good. One thing you need to pay attention when you order new bolts: the washer. The washer goes only one way, okay? I don't know if you can tell, but the flat spot, I don't know if you can see it, okay? Well, it's hard for me to focus on this camera. Okay, so this washer goes only one way, okay? And the bigger flat spot, you can put them in your finger and you can feel it right away which edge is bigger. So I mark it with red so I don't get confused. So this goes in the head like that. Okay, I mark all of it. And also they say you need to lubricate the thread just slightly. You don't have to go crazy. I don't know whoever did that job on on this one before, but look, they put anti-seize. That's I mean, that's not a bad idea, but it's not recommended, because anti-seize is it has ground compounds, you know what I mean? So the book says slightly soak it in motor oil. That's what I gotta do. Now there is 4 bolts longer than this ones, and those bolts I believe goes in the middle of the head, right in the center of the head. You see. Okay, let's move on into the torque sequence. So the first step is 22 foot-pounds. So what you're gonna do, okay? So you're gonna look at the instructions and you're gonna torque down first the right head, which is this one. Torque it down to 22 foot-pounds by torque sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 until you reach 12. And then you move into this head. Torque it down to 22 foot-pounds. Same thing. Okay? And then you move into this head. Again, you torque it down to 43 foot-pounds. Okay? The specification shows that you can do it different type of wrenches, but I don't have those wrenches. I just have the torque wrench and foot-pounds. Okay? So don't try to do very professional. If you don't have the right wrenches, just use what you have. Or you can go AutoZone and rent one torque wrench, foot-pounds. Don't go crazy. And then you move into the left head and torque it down to 43 foot-pounds. And then you're gonna move into this head and you're gonna lose all of them. All of them. Don't remove the head, just lose the bolts, all of them. You do it by sequence, the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lose all of them and you lose all of them. Same thing by sequence, all of them. Okay? Once you lose all the bolts, and then you need to torque down the intake manifold. And the way you torque it down is right here. So let's see. Okay, same thing by sequence. And the first step says that you need to torque it down 3 foot-pounds. Okay, so you go 3 foot-pounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, sequence. And then you torque it down to 13 foot-pounds. Same thing by sequence, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you retorque it down another 13 foot-pounds. Hold on. Okay, so once you torque down the intake manifold to 13 foot-pounds, according to the instructions, and then you're gonna lose them, all of them. Same thing, by sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, lose them. And then once you lose the intake manifold, and then now you need to retorque again the head bolts. So final sequence to torque down the head bolts, it's right here. So final torque on the head bolts. It says right here that turn cylinder head bolts to 60 to 65 degrees clockwise. If an angle wrench is not available, you can use your torque wrench, which is this one. It's this one. This is what I'm using for years, and I trust this torque wrench. This is foot-pounds. Okay, also has a, but it doesn't give me like really exactly accuracy, but it's good, and I trust them, and I can go maybe a little bit 1 foot-pound extra just to make sure. And then so the final torque is 40 to 47 foot-pounds. Okay, 40 to 47 foot-pounds. So supposed to be in between, but because these heads, they already did it twice, so I'm gonna go probably 47 foot-pounds. Torque sequence, same thing, 47 foot-pounds, 47 foot-pounds, okay? And then they say also have the soot bolt. So the soot bolt is this little thing right here. It's a 10 millimeter, one in the front and one in the back. That's 9 pounds. It's like put it on with your hand and then just torque it down by wrench. You know, like you feel it, boom. That's it. You don't have to go super crazy, okay? So the final torque is 47 foot-pounds, 47 foot-pounds, and once you finally finish torquing down, and then you need to torque down the intake manifold. The first step is 3 foot-pounds sequence, you know, torque it down sequence, and then 6 pounds, and then 7 pounds, and then torque it down, and that's it. Don't put thread lock. Do not use thread lock. Okay, how do you torque down the intake manifold without torque wrench? Simple. Use your hand, your power. If this bolt is the soot bolt right here, what is it? Right here. If this bolt is 9 pounds, this is only 7 pounds. So you're gonna torque it down by hand, and then torque it down by sequence, like all the way down, and then boom, boom. You know, like maybe quarter angle degrees or 45 degrees, torque it down by hand. You know, feel it. You can feel it. It's not really. You don't have to go that crazy because these studs, they get rusty, and then if you over torque it, you break them. And then now you need to remove the intake manifold and drill the bolt out and put a new one. And it's a pain in the butt. So this is how you torque down heads with intake manifold. It's not that complicated. There is no videos explaining how to do it. I'm telling you how to do it. I'm about to do it, but I cannot do it holding the phone and torquing down the bolts, okay? This is how you do it. It's not that hard, okay? So the head has one sub bolt right here, and this one, it has one in the back, okay? Okay, the same thing when you're removing, the same process. When you're torquing down, the same process, okay? It's not complicated, okay? And when you're torquing down the heads, I don't put yet the push valves, the rocker arms, so for me it's easy, okay? Just at the end I'm gonna do it. But before doing that, this is my advice to you. You see the mark right here? I put a mark here and mark here. So I moved the crankshaft, I'd say maybe 60 degrees. So the piston number one is not up, it's like down, this much, down. So this is piston number one right here, piston number one. So I move it down. So when I'm down torquing the heads, and it's starting to put the rocker arm on, you know, it's not gonna bend any valve, or it's gonna give me a hard time to do the final install, okay? So this is how you do it. Good luck, and if you have any questions, let me know. On the internet, you can find out instructions how to do it, but it's not hard to understand once you read it, okay? So leave some comments if you have questions. Goodbye.